Hey guys, I'm really bored right now, so I figured that I would give you guys a little bit of an update, a little bit of like a rundown of how today has gone. Did I vlog yesterday? Look, the days are running together. The doctor asked me, "What day did you start drinking the Go Lightly?" And I was like, took me a minute. I was drawing a complete blank. My dad had to answer for me. So, okay, so my brain is not there. But, so I got admitted on, there goes my brain again, Monday, I think. And yeah, because today's day 3. So Monday is when I got admitted. Started drinking the Go Lightly that evening. You're going to have to ignore my hair, okay? I haven't even brushed it, just whatever. Through yesterday, I was still drinking a little bit. And I also got a abdominal CT yesterday. They did an x-ray in the ER, and they did another one today, and I'll explain that in a bit. It's kind of been a stressful day. So they did a abdominal CT yesterday with me drinking contrast, and then also IV contrast. And I came back to the room after that and drank some of the Go Lightly. I ended up drinking about well, you know what, I can just show you, honestly. It's still sitting in the room. I ended up drinking, the line is like here. So I'd say like, I don't know, not 3/4 of it, but over half. And at that point, towards the evening-ish, late afternoon time, I started going, let's just say, to put it bluntly. It was first like, okay, this is your TMI warning, okay? It was first like 2, poops. And then it just turned into like pudding consistency. And then overnight it turned into water, pretty much, which is not something that we really wanted to happen. We wanted to clear it out, but not clear it out like this. So I was actually supposed to go home today, and there's been a couple reasons why I didn't. That was the first one. So they put me on IV fluids overnight to kind of rehydrate because I was feeling really bad last night. I was feeling just exhausted, like to the point even just breathing felt exhausting. So I'm already doing better than that because I'm in a chair, not laying in bed, partly because that bed was hurting me. So, you know, I'm doing better in that regard. I ended up doing a albuterol treatment at like, I don't even know, 11-ish, 11:30, because I was just having a hard time breathing just from pure exhaustion. That helped a little bit, and I was feeling lightheaded and just not good. So I went to bed early last night, and they actually let me sleep pretty well. I got woken up for labs, and I got woken up for, no, that was this morning. See, things are running together. I got woken up for vitals, I got woken up twice because the IV pole decided to scream at me for bending my arm. But for a hospital, I got really decent sleep last night. So I woke up this morning feeling better in that regard. And things were going pretty good. The doctors came in this morning. Originally, they were going to be like, you know, we were going to send you home today. And then I kind of explained what went on overnight. And they were like, you know, I think I want to keep you here an extra day today, just to make sure everything kind of evens out. And I still think the plan is to go home tomorrow, but there's some things in there that I'm going to explain. And they wanted to check electrolyte levels, which some of it came back a little bit like wonky, but they never really said anything about that. So then I was still feeling pretty like not great, but not as bad as last night this morning, and I had some energy. The fluids helped, and the diarrhea situation has continued throughout this entire day. It's finally slowing down a little bit, but just to put it in perspective, I ate my lunch and I saw my lunch again about 30 minutes later. So, yeah. So I've just been feeling kind of weak today. I've had moments of being lightheaded, times where I just, like, I'll be doing something and I just have to stop and lay down because I'm just not with it. Just because, like, I'm not really absorbing anything I'm eating, and thankfully, by some miracle, my sugar has stayed okay throughout this whole process. So I've just been kind of, like, out of it. But I did take 2 walks today. My dad came, we played a game of Phase 10. So like I was able to do a little bit more. And then by evening, around dinner time, I started feeling lightheaded and just bad again. And it's been kind of off and on. Basically, when I told her nurse last night, that's when we kind of talked about like fluids, electrolyte levels, and then I told the day nurse today, I was feeling that way, and she's like, well, just rest, we'll keep an eye on it. And it's a little better right now. I did rest for like 2 hours, and it's a little better right now. So that's the synopsis of like the stuff that we already knew that was going on that was, just hospital. The irony is not lost on me that I started with constipation and I'm still here because of diarrhea, but now I want to get into the other stuff, and I don't want you guys to freak out. I freaked out a little bit, as did my entire family. I don't want you guys to freak out because nothing is set in stone yet, but since I'm already giving you an update, I want to give you the full update, and hopefully I'll be giving you a very good one tomorrow. It's been scary. So a GI doctor came in to explain the CT yesterday. Now, I asked the nurse this morning about the CT, and I figured, as did she, no news is good news, right? If you don't hear anything back, usually it's fine. Well, she came in here today, and honestly, like, this is going to sound bad. I was so out of it, I thought the doctor was a nurse for a second. Like, it took me a good minute to figure out who I was talking to. But she came in, and she explained that on the CT, there was potential evidence of, I'm forgetting the even name of it at this point, potential evidence of something where the small intestine is being compressed between the aorta and the abdominal aorta vein and the mesentery in your system. And if that's the case, it would require surgery. And she was like, don't freak out, because there's a possibility that it was a false positive, and you're not having severe pain. And then she proceeds to say, but it could be life-threatening. I'm like, lady, did you need to say that? Like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I told my sister later, like, she's telling me don't freak out. And then she's like, but it could be life-threatening. Thanks, lady, thanks. And so they did an x-ray today to, like, see if there was still, like, that stuff, I guess. I don't really know. But in the meantime, while everybody is hoping and praying, and I'm just going straight with the mindset of it was a false positive, I had to make plans in case it wasn't. So I had to call Tampa General, my hospital I go to for all my CF care. I'm at a different hospital. And tell them, like, we were messaging back and forth for a little bit, and then eventually one of the nurses there just ended up calling me, my clinic nurse, and we were talking over, like, okay, well, the first step she said was, like, if something showed on there, then we'd probably be doing an upper endoscopy, which wouldn't be able to be done until Friday at the earliest, because I'd have to fast, and I haven't been fasting. Now everything's running through my system, but I haven't been fasting, so, because you go under anesthesia for that. So I was like, okay, well, if we have to do that or more serious stuff, I might want to be transferred over to Tampa General, especially if surgery is involved, right? An upper endoscopy might be okay here. It's, it's not anything invasive. You're under anesthesia, but they're just shoving a camera down your throat. But basically that would be done to verify if the small intestine was being restricted. And if that came back positive, then, we'd be going into, like, surgery. So then she freaked me out because she's like, I'm going to contact our general surgeon team. And then I had, like, 2 surgeons come in and talk to me today about my whole surgical history and medical history. And, it's really not a nice feeling to have, like, a doctor being like, yeah, this could be, very wrong with you. And then, 30 minutes later, hi, I'm from the general surgery team. I'm here to talk to you. And so there's a very high likelihood that it was a false positive or something that does not need to be addressed. And, we're all hoping for that outcome, but your mind goes places when you hear a doctor say things like life-threatening, and thinking about a surgery with your aorta. And it was I had a panic attack after she left the room, but I calmed myself down to, like, okay, let's think about this logically. Let's not freak out. I haven't heard the results of the x-ray. I won't until tomorrow. I keep snooping my patient portal trying to see if I can like read clinical notes, but it's not popping up on there. But yeah, so it was a long day. It was a long day. I told my whole family, and then was just asking for prayers for the scans to come back okay. Brooke's grandmother, if you guys have been following a while, you know my best friend Brooke, who passed away. I still talk to her grandmother occasionally. I asked her for prayers, and she ended up posting on Facebook asking all of like extended family for prayers. So I feel very loved and very covered in prayers and, you know, good thoughts, which is very sweet of everybody. I feel kind of bad freaking out my family and my friend, and, you know, I ended up, something you guys might not know about me is I have a dark sense of humor, and so when I'm stressed and things are like that, I start making dark jokes, and I was doing that with my friend Mariah that was just here. I was like, you know, if this is my last will and testament, if you guys, if I die, take my cats, but don't take my facial killer, like stuff like that. But I had a few moments of reflection today because you think about stuff when, you know, stuff like that happens. And but then I just kind of was like, okay, well, you know, there's a very, very high chance of this being a false positive, and there's a very high chance that, you know, as long as I'm feeling better and stuff and the diarrhea is not, you know, doing what it's doing, that I'll be home by the time tomorrow. So I'm just, I went from level 10 panic attack to about a level 3, and it was like, okay, we'll just see what happens tomorrow, and whatever does happen tomorrow, I feel very covered in prayers, and that, you know, no matter what, God will keep me safe. And hopefully I'll be home with my plants tomorrow, my ninja. But I thought I would give you guys a little bit of an update. And just, if you guys could prayers too, that, you know, I'd really appreciate it. But I'm going to end this here because this vlog is long enough, and I'm uploading on hospital Wi-Fi. So I'm going to just sit in this chair for a little bit, just chill out, and text my friends, and just, you know, hope for the best. Hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. That was kind of what the day was, but we're gonna lean toward the hope for the best side. So anyway, thanks guys for listening to this ramble.